Hi, my name is Terry. If you have not been to my channel before, I live in Oregon, right outside of Portland. I am a full-time seller on eBay, and today I'm going to show you what sold for the past week. Starting off with a Sony DVD VHS recorder combo. I grouped together a couple other things just to make this deal just a little bit sweeter. I put in some cables. It did have the manual with it, but I did order the remote for it and threw in a few empty DVDs and a empty VHS. And I listed this for $300 and it sold within 24 hours and I paid $8 for it. So definitely keep your eyes open for these. They always do really well for me, and test them, make sure they work well. Next is a vintage Akron car timing light. I purchased this a few weeks ago, thought it was super cool, and thought it was worth a little bit more than it was. I paid $9 for it and I sold it for $30. Keep your eyes open for vintage dictionaries and Bibles. This Sanskrit Dictionary I picked up for $1 and I sold for $100. And I think I've only had it listed for a couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. This is definitely something that has not always been on my radar, but will be for now on. I purchased this Bauer buffer tool along with 3 other Bauer new in box tools that were similar. I didn't realize that they were Harbor Freight tools, which there's nothing wrong with that. They're just not, you know, top of the line by any means. I did end up doing very well on them. I think I paid $80 for 4 of them, all different types. I know one was a spotlight type of thing, this buffer, one of them was a chainsaw. This particular one I paid $15 for and I sold for $40. The others were better profit than that. So these Simpson strong ties are these giant screws and they are for foundation plates. And the foundation plates were probably the best item I had ever picked up. I did not know what they were. I saw them in a basement at an estate sale. There was not a price on them. And I offered $10 a box. There were 5 boxes. I believe there were 10 plates in each box. And he accepted and I wheeled them out. They were heavy, super, super heavy. These foundation plates are very thick metal. So got them all in my car, got them listed, decided I did not want to ship these out. So I was selling them on eBay for pickup only. And I also had them listed on Facebook Marketplace. I think I had them listed for probably 2 or 3 months. So somebody in California purchased them for $750. Saw they lived in California. I was thinking maybe they were coming this way because it was listed for pickup only, and was able to contact them. And they said that they definitely could not come here and they would pay me an extra $150 to ship them. So I actually did get them all boxed up. The box weighed 130 pounds and had some help taking it over to FedEx and got some insurance on it and shipped them out. The deal ended up working out just great. You know, the cost of shipping was right around $150. I was just kind of ballparking it in the beginning when he had offered me $150. These screws were part of that same purchase. And these screws are for the foundation plates. He did not want them. So I had listed them. Accidentally, as you can see the price, they sold for over $200. I listed them that I had 4 boxes for quantity and I only had 4 boxes. So I reached out to this buyer and he said that he still wanted them. So I did sell these 4 boxes for $59. Plus shipping. Anyway, that was my story on my foundation plates and where these screws came from. That was one of my top sells ever to date. Next is this Wallace Highliner Salmon Plug. And I bought a big box of vintage salmon fishing lures at an estate sale a couple months ago. And this one sold for $20. Some of the others that I had listed sold for quite a bit more, and I still have quite a few to list. This pair of Adidas I purchased brand new from an estate sale. It was at the end of the day. So many people had already been through there. It was, you know, pretty empty. But in the closet, they still had this pair of Adidas sitting there, and I paid $10 for them, and I sold them for $48. So you never know what you can find at a sale that has been going on all day long. There still could be some treasures left. Next is this Great Courses. If you watched my other video, you would see that I purchased a big box of these and grouped them up, and each group I paid $1.50 for, and this one sold for $20. And this one is The Lost World of South America. This classical musical DVD set is brand new, and I paid $10 for it, and I sold it for $56. This vintage Pyrex casserole dish was not a good purchase. I had bought 4 of them last summer, and I paid an average of $6.50, and I only sold this for $10. So I am probably barely breaking even on this. I had a little obsession with Pyrex for a bit after my Pyrex pie plate had burst in the oven with my chicken pot pie in it, and wanted to figure out why this happened, because Pyrex is supposed to be able to go from oven to refrigerator to freezer with no problem at all. So I did some research on it and realized that quite a few years ago, the company was bought and they changed the glass, which means it will last for quite a while, but eventually it could burst in the oven like mine did. And so in order to get the old glass, you always want to look for the Pyrex written on it. Should be in all capital letters. If Pyrex is embossed on there with lowercase letters, it is the newer glass, and it will eventually break on you if it's used enough. So I traded in all of my newer Pyrex glass for the older good stuff. So you can still find those pretty easily at Goodwill, and it's definitely worth trading all your newer stuff in for the good old stuff. I picked up these Toyota Tundra 2014 brand new car mats, and I paid $35 for them, and I only sold them for $70. I thought they were worth a little bit more. I've been hanging on to them for quite a while at a higher price, and then I just kept lowering them a little bit since the 2014. I don't know if they fit other cars, other years, but anyway, somebody finally did buy them and they're out and gone. I did make profit on them, but just not as much as I thought. I don't typically spend $35 just to make $70, but I'm okay with that. This little Chime ring device, I paid $3 for and I sold for $20. These halogen car lights, it's the bulb to replace when your headlights go out. I picked up about 6 to 8 boxes of these for $15 each, and I was selling them for $70. This person is going to get a refund on these. They said they just weren't bright enough, and it looked like the box had been opened before. Unfortunately, I've already given them a refund. I have sold 2 or 3 of these bulbs before with no problem, so I don't want these back, because they said when they turned them on, they were kind of yellow instead of bright white like they were supposed to be. So another Great Courses that I sold, I paid for a full box of them like I had mentioned earlier. So this one I have $1.50 into, and it sold for $50. Here is another vintage salmon lure. I had purchased a box for $60, and these two sold for $20. So this Xerox cartridge I had paid $30 for, and I sold for $110. This vintage quick shot MIDI composer keyboard I paid $5 for at a garage sale, and I sold it for $39. This Dromeda ready to fly drone was something that we had purchased quite a few years ago, and we never used it, never took it out of the box, and I sold it for $45. So this vintage Magnavox Skyway portable Walkman type player, I accidentally had listed that it was metal. It was plastic. I paid $4 for it, and I sold it for $55. And when the buyer received it, reached out to me and said it was plastic, I told him to go ahead and put in a return claim, or that we could possibly just refund them their shipping, because it still was a very cool little set. It came with the original headset to it, and it was working really, really well. They thought about it for a day and got back to me and said yes, that they would be happy with their shipping being returned and be able to keep it. So I'm glad they were happy with it. And then my last one is this Cranium Cariboo island game. I have sold quite a few Cariboo games, but never one that was island. Keep your eyes open for these games, because you can usually pick them up for just a couple bucks, and some of them could sell between $50 to $90 or so. And so this one I paid $3.99 for at Goodwill, and I sold for $40. My friend who told me about this, who is just an amazing reseller, if you want to check out her store, it is Alloy and Apparel. You could check that out, ALLOY and Apparel. She's got a great eBay store, so check her out. So this is a 1982 Dallas Barbie Golden Palomino horse that I paid $20 for, and I sold for $90. I had purchased probably about 5 or 6 vintage Barbie dolls that were new in box at this sale, and I think I've sold a couple of them so far. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and if you like this, please hit the like button and subscribe down below.